how are we doing today? So today is the, let me just try to, there. It is the, Kat Von D was shaded by Tati. That's funny. But it was a good catch. I think Ashley Kyle was the first one to make the video about it, and it was on Twitter. But she shaded her, you know, with the, she put down the Saints and Sinners palette and said, go vaccinate your children. And then the breast milk thing came about and stuff like that. I just want to say, oh my gosh. Okay, first thing is, you know how people are with their especially when it's your first child. They are just like, they want this, you know, total, you know, like everything's got to be perfect. And, you know, people are like that when it comes to their first child. They just really are. You know, there's some that just don't want you to touch their baby. They want, you know, this big air bubble around their baby. It's just some moms do that. They do. And then they learn real quick that that's not, well, some learn. Let's not say they all. But they learn real quick that that's not really a good idea, you know. But, you know, first-time moms are very, very, a lot of times overprotective. But being in the healthcare industry, and again, I think it's everybody's right to do whatever they want to do. It's their choice. It's their right to choose. But we don't all have to agree with it. And Nick Snyder, he hilarious as hell. I mean, I just got to just hi when I watch his videos. His sarcasm kills me, but he was calling a baby whooping cough, baby rubella. But no, on a very serious note, we can sit here and we can debate all we want about vaccinations, and there's people that get, you know, that believe that vaccinations cause autism and all this other shenanigans. There's no scientific proof of that. In fact, wasn't that doctor, something happened to that doctor that made that statement, I believe? Did he lose his license or something? I don't know. But the doctor that put that out there, that vaccines can cause, you know, autism or whatever, I know something happened to him. I don't feel like doing the research, which I should have done before I made this video, but, you know, God bless. And y'all know I got people walking around in my background. This is a family house, so it is what it is. Anyway, I'm not going to go try to find a quiet room because one does not exist. Right, Katie? Right. Anyway, moving along from that, I just want to say, as being in the healthcare field, that it is a very not a good idea. And I think if you do your, you know, educated research, all the negatives that you can find about vaccinations can be debunked. And secondly, the pros will outweigh the cons. And we have to look at that because, okay, if you're worried about not vaccinating your child because of being a vegan or all this other stuff, whatever. But can you imagine your child having to suffer with the diseases that vaccinations will vaccinate you against? I mean, in a way, to me, it's like you're making your child possibly suffer with something that they shouldn't have to suffer through. And it's not fair to the child. That is my opinion. And everybody has the right to have their own opinion. But there are so many people out there that have immune deficiencies. There are children that play in parks that are not old enough to have their vaccinations yet. So when you have a child around that is not vaccinated, if they catch something, they're contagious before you know what they have because of the incubation period. So say a child contracts like the measles or the mumps or chicken pox or whatever, they are already contagious before you know they have it. So that's what sucks. It really does. It sucks for any parent that's going to want to take their child to the park and to around any kind of public area that your child is in that is unvaccinated. I don't think that's fair to the other parents around you, period. It's just not fair. And I don't believe it's fair to the child to have to suffer with something that they don't have to suffer with. It's just, it's an uneducated decision in my experience. But again, it's my opinion. I don't agree with it, and I think it's wrong. So if she wants to sit here and really act like she's super mom of the year, I want her to see when her child, well, I don't want to say when, because that's rude. I'm sorry. Let me take that back, and I will correct myself. If her child gets any one of these conditions or diseases that there is a vaccination for, I would like her to sit there and explain to herself why that had to happen. You know, why, look your child in the eyes and say, you have this because I wanted to prove a point, because I wanted to be all earthy. You know, you explain that to your child. Again, that is just my opinion. I know there's parents out there that don't vaccinate their children, and I get it. Some don't do it because of religious beliefs, and I get that, okay? But my stand, where I come from, just being in the healthcare industry, of how just asinine it is again my opinion. And when these parents have to look these children in the face when they're suffering with something that they don't have to suffer from, it's sad. When you have to coddle your child from something that could have been prevented, it's sad. It's like if you sit there and you know, like, your child's classroom has the flu, a very bad case of the flu. Are you going to walk your child into that classroom? Of course not. You're going to protect your child from that classroom. You're not going to take your child to that classroom. It's kind of the same concept. You know, if you know that classroom, they all have the flu, and you're not going to say, well, let me take my child there. Of course not. You're naturally going to protect your child. It's the same scenario, guys. Anyway, the breast milk thing, it's, you know, that's a different thing. I don't think she starved her baby. No, I don't think it's that deep and that far. There's plenty of women out there that stand particularly just to have breast milk for their children, and I think that's okay, to be honest. I do. If that's what they want, they don't want any artificial things for their child, whether it's vegan or not. I don't think it came from her from vegan or not, but I will say it was a stretch too far to only want breast milk from a person that was completely vegan, because then that limits your choices. It makes it harder for you, but the service that she had did come through and find something. Had they not found anything, I would certainly hope she wouldn't, like, not feed her baby if there was nothing to find, but there are a lot of women that stand by, I only want breast milk for my child, and I think that's their right, and I do think that that is A-okay. I think that's fine. A lot of people don't like formula. A lot of babies have a hard time with formula, with their tummies and things like that. Personally, all my children were bottle fed. It was just a thing for me, and the reason why I did not breastfeed any of my children is because it was just, I didn't eat right. I don't think, you know, I don't know. I was just like, you know what, my diet isn't very good, and I'm just not that, you know, I was more worried that I wouldn't give them the nutrition that they needed. And, you know, I was young, guys. I was very young, and I was like, you know, I would like them to get everything that they need. You know, I just, all the special dieting and everything that you had to do and stuff like that, I'm like, I was realistic to myself, saying, I don't know if I can faithfully stick to that, because you can't eat spicy foods. There's things you can't eat. There's things you got to be careful of. And I was just young, and I'm like, it was overwhelming for me to have to stick to a regimen of foods that you can eat or not eat while breastfeeding. So I chose to bottle feed my children. That was the thing that I thought was the responsible thing to do, considering there is a lot that goes in with breastfeeding. Anyway, so moving along from that, I do think that she wanted the vegan milk, you know, made her choices quite limited, but again, she was able to get it. I don't think she personally would have let her baby starve. I mean, you got to think, there are plenty of people that have their babies out in the wilderness and their babies are fine. Let's just stop. Okay, there's plenty of parents that home birth and don't do hospitals, which is fine. It's their right, as long as, you know, they take the proper precautions, that don't do it. And that's, again, moms do have the right to choose, and I don't think we should be out here judging them for judging her for every single thing she does, because that's just kind of silly. Not one of us is super mommy, okay, even though that is my thing, but let's be realistic. None of us are the perfect parent. Absolutely not one of us. So I don't think taking a dig at her over the breast milk thing is, again, my opinion. And that's okay. But it is good that she found, you know, the milk. Had she not, and she still continued to do that, then that would be something to talk about, guys. then it would be. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on feelings of what I felt about the Kat Von D and the vaccination. And also, again, what Jeffree Star shaded her a little bit too. I'll get into it on that. But Kat Von D makeup, I got one of her lipsticks in BoxyCharm, and I personally don't care for it. It's not as good as other formulas are. I have one palette of hers, and that's this one. This is the 10th anniversary one. It's the only thing I really have of hers, and I don't know. But the only thing I will say about Kat Von D Beauty is that I think it's so damn controversial. That's why the shit's always on sale. Because, yes, you see it at TJ Maxx and all that other shit, but it's also, when it hits the stores, it's regular price. And then all of a sudden, it's half off. I'm just saying, it's not exactly a big selling point. I think with some of the things that she has done in her career has made it a little bit more, you know, difficult for her as a business person. Second thing, Nick Snyder did point out about, she said things about Jeffree of being racist and things like that. And her first husband had some Nazi issues. And her second husband has a swastika tattooed on him. Yeah. I did not know that, but you are married to a tattoo artist. I think she could fix that and remove that for you and make it into something else. Just saying. Not a cool thing. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. Hugs and kisses to you all.